Hello and welcome back to the Biscuits Mercenary Company. We're currently up to week 100 of this career playthrough. Haven't really made as much progress as I'd expect by this point. Mostly I think that's due to me spending a while just searching for parts to make other videos, but I have managed to throw together a few things I thought would be worth showing. Now, a little while ago there was an unfortunate incident with an enemy swordsman which resulted in the death of Didar here. The mech was in perfect condition, the swordsman just got behind them, one hit straight to the back, completely called it out. The mech was recoverable, just needed everything in the centre torso replaced. But unfortunately Didar didn't survive, even though really the cockpit wasn't hit at all. And here is the sword in question, a 10-tonner. I put it on my 35-ton fire starter, but to be able to do so it does require this industrial triple strength monomer to triple its carry capacity. I did have to replace the MASC that was in this location originally, so the total running distance has been reduced from 200% down to 150, as I still do have a supercharger installed. Overall it does hit harder with weapon attacks, but because it can't sprint as far, it might take an extra turn to close distance, it doesn't get quite as much evasion, and this does also reduce its charge distance. Originally I did have on a 3-ton vibro sword, and what I would like is a 5-ton vibro sword, which I can then use with a hot seat cockpit, which I think is a more viable melee build. The hot seat cockpit gives you a 1.5 times melee damage, so it would be comparable, but you'll have that increased walk distance, meaning you can actually get the physical weapon attacks from further away. What I'm trying to do with these melee mechs is experiment to find the best loadout for taking the cockpit off of a mech in one hit. If you can get that head hit with enough melee damage just to destroy the cockpit in one go, maximum salvage. The retractable blades do increase your melee attack damage, but they also increase the number of attacks that you do, which actually splits the damage. So instead of doing 100 damage in one hit, you're doing say 110, but it's then actually split into 2 attacks of 55. The upside is, because you're doing multiple hits, you've got more chance of actually one of them landing on the head. So what I'm trying to find is a build which optimizes the number of attacks, which also each attack does enough damage to kill the cockpit in one go. I'll probably end up just using one retractable blade for this, have to see how much damage I can put out. Here's the Mad Cat Mark II that we got last episode. So I have just built it with 2 Gauss rifles. I've not put on a extra large engine, because I didn't want to increase the value of this mech by too much. So if I put this on, it costs, first of all, 3 million to actually install, but would give us a load of extra tonnage, which we can then use for extra weaponry. We've got some energy hard points, so probably put some PPCs in the center torsos. Doing that would increase the value of the mech, which will mean higher upkeep costs as well as higher drop costs and increased value on missions, which will cause more enemies to spawn possibly. I'm not entirely sure how the game calculates the value to enemy spawn rate, but I know it's got something to do with it. I would like to put some of these battle computers and things on the mech as well, but for now just going to keep it as it is until I start doing more sort of 3 to 4 skull missions and have maybe a lance of heavy mechs. The last mech that I want to take a look at for now is this 45-ton fire starter. So it's 10 tons heavier than the normal one. It's also an omni mech, which means you can put whatever weapons you want on it, which gives it some great versatility. However, my standard loadout is just 11 flamers, or rather 10 flamers in this fire breath I've got in the cockpit, which is a little bit worse than a normal flamer. It has some recoil, but it also doesn't generate as much heat because some of it's rerouted through a coffee machine, which obviously I've put tea in. Most of my flamers are these hot shots, which have +1 accuracy, but do cause only 9 heat compared to a normal flamer's 10, which I think is a fair trade-off. With this many flamers, you can generally overheat a mech in 2 goes, so you need to get close, flame them. If you can get before them on the next turn, you can flame them again and shut them down really easy. This is with the Flamer fire control system though. Omni-mechs in general, they're really quick to repair and change out the weapons on, but they do have the downside of that you can't change the internals. So this has the endo steel inbuilt, which means I can't replace it with a clan endo steel, meaning that we have much less space to play around with. I would like to put on maybe these patchwork materials, free up a bit of tonnage and space for 2 more jump jets or maybe an extra heatsink. but until we get some clan flamers or other parts, it's fine as it is. It does a good job. But the next step up from this, for my preference, would be a Conquistador Black Knight, as it can mount a comparable amount of flamers, but is a lot more tanky. It can take a lot more hits. As for the battle today, really I should be moving on to sort of 3 skull missions, but while I'm on this planet, see what we've got. There's a few battles. This one is against Clan Ghost Bear, so I'm going to do that, get some clan salvage. Probably wouldn't want to actually fight clan mechs as a 3 skull mission just yet. This should be fairly doable unless we get very unlucky with a high-tech clan mech spawning. Right, we've immediately made contact with the enemy, so I'm going to reserve a bit because we've got really high evasion and no one's sensors are on, so they won't be able to land any hits. Don't want to do it too much though, because I'll be knocked down the initiative ranks for the next turn. Should be fine to move the Hatchetman forwards though, because you do keep 4 evasion from jumping, and we can brace. And out of this lance of mechs, the Hatchetman is probably the one that I don't mind being shot at. Do need to also move up the fire starter though, so you can turn on the DNI cockpit and the supercharger for maximum evasion and distance. This does conflict with the stealth that's installed on this mech as well, but that's mostly for once you're in melee where you only move a few spaces to use the weapon attack. The stealth should then keep the mech safe rather than having high evasion. First shots with the Mad Cat, these are very likely to miss. Yeah, there you go. That's because we've got no sensors, so our accuracy is terrible. But there's no recoil on those guns, and I've got enough ammo that should last the entire mission, so I don't mind just throwing a few shots for the very low chance they actually land. I might have missed something in the mission briefing, but it does look like these mechs are damaged. This fight might be a bit easier than I expected. Going for a bit of a risky move with the fire starter, so I'm going to charge the Hussar in the back here. I'd rather hit it in the side, because if you do all the damage to the back and the mech falls over, you then can't hit the back to finish it off. So you have to wait for it to stand up. But we can activate the Berserker, do extra damage, take a bit less self-damage from charging. Oh, never mind. That was more than enough just to kill it then. All stealth, no evasion. Took a bit of damage to the left shoulder there. Hopefully you don't get shot in the back too badly. Right, here it comes. Ooh, jeez, that's a fair bit of damage. This is why I arm up the back on my melee mechs especially. I could have reserved until it had had its turn, but that would have let the Hussar have a go. And by not reserving, I now get to go first. We can go for this mech where I've opened up the side torso. Let the machine guns do a bit of work. I'm going to Vigilance just as I can. And let's pop this up to 6 shots from all the machine guns. So I've got maximum chance of destroying that arm. Oh, that's the mech dead. Most likely just crit the engine to death if it's got the clan engines in the side torso. What are you shooting at? Oh, the Mad Cat. It's a bit annoying. Okay, it's just got the PVC. Missiles are probably SOMs as they didn't fire. And they're damaged as well. Flamers, very effective against vehicles. They just do a load of extra damage as you can't actually heat them up. Just want to pop them all on. See if we can toast this thing out. Ooh, close. That's going to have to be another hit though, which wastes an entire turn from another mech. Unless it runs through a burning tile, kills itself.
They're flanking.
Oh, I managed to hit the fire starter in the back. I didn't think they'd get round the rock to do it. Well, that was close. I'm pretty sure I left the DNI cockpit on, so if that hit would have actually done any structure damage, I would have taken a pilot wound. Should probably turn that off or really make sure they can't get around my back. I do want to finish off this vehicle just to make sure it can't speed around. I don't know if it being in the fire will immediately do damage and would have killed it, but I don't want to take the risk.
Engaging target.
A little bit of overkill. Can jump the Hatchetman up close to these two. If we get a good initiative roll, we'll be able to go and melee one of them first before they can move. Now we have got a bit of instability, so I'm going to brace just to make sure we don't become unstable if we take a bit of fire. Oh, is that a 10 or 20? Here's an AC 20. Let's take that out before we can get any clean shots on someone. Fire starter's up. Let's turn off the cockpit. We do lose a bit of melee damage and maximum evasion, but we're not getting maximum evasion anyway because we're not going to be moving that far. So we're going to physical weapon attack this hunchback, and I would normally go for the back, but you could just kill it in one go, but that leaves our back open to the mech that's coming down that way. So instead I'm just going to hit it from the side. Unfortunately, the weapons that would be able to fire, most of them are jammed. Also, the AC-20 is on the other side of the mech, but I couldn't attack from there because the Vox are in the way. Surprised they didn't take the arm off, actually. That's the downside from the retractable blades. I can see one of them hit the center torso. Both enemies have managed to move out of melee range with the Hatchet Man. I could probably turn the supercharge on and charge. It takes a bit to calculate the distance, but if you swap between sprint and move, it will normally show you if you can melee straight away. Again, I don't want to charge from behind because that would leave me open to flanking attacks. So you could go from the side, force all the damage onto one side of the mech, more likely to take an arm off or the leg. But I'm going to go for the front, which will spread the damage out more and we'll take a little bit ourselves. But I will be in the trees here, braced, so I shouldn't take much from return fire.
Locked on for physical attack.
There's the knockdown. It's very rare that a charge doesn't knock down the target. Only if you haven't charged enough distance or it's a very small mech hitting a bigger one. We got some good damage on the arm, but it is spread out. And we didn't attack it from behind, so oh, bit of friendly fire there from that Griffin with the PPC. But yeah, if we charged it from behind and hadn't killed it, being on the floor would now protect any open sections because of the front armor now covering it.
Yes, Commander.
Just realised that when I'm saying it's the fire starters guy, I should probably mention which one. So this is the all flamers. I do want to finish off this hunchback if I can get through that arm. I'm not sure if attacking it from the side or front would be better, because if I attack from the side, it's likely to hit the arm as much as the torso. If I hit from the front, it might spread it out all over the entire mech. Going to go for the side for the bonus accuracy, because we are losing some from jumping.
Firing all weapons.
We got cheeky head hit in there. It's not enough though, so I'm going to have to use the Gauge rifles on it. Don't want to accidentally shoot my mechs in the back, so I do have to move the Madcap forwards. And this is where I'm going to Vigilance, because we've got much less evasion on the slower moving mech. And there are still enemies to the left which are likely to shoot it. Really missed two 70% shots there. Alright, now he's going to get a chance to retaliate, so he didn't kill him. Oof, that's always a worry when the AC-20 fires at point blank range. But combination of pilot injury, heat, moving, probably had a pretty low accuracy on that shot. Small melee fire starter is always up first, so we can try and finish him off. I do need to worry about this mech coming in from the side, so I don't want to go too far around where it can get behind me. Can also pump up all the machine guns just in case we don't kill him with the melee attack, but I'd be very surprised if we didn't.
Physical attack.
There we go. Oh, we actually didn't kill him through the torso. We actually managed to take the head clean off. Time for another hatcheting. So we are going to leave the one on the floor. You don't need to worry about that one. That can be hit by the Gauge rifles. Instead, I'm going to go for this Viper off to the side. Again, I don't want to go for the back, because that's going to leave me open. So I'm just going to hit it from the side. Oh, didn't actually blow anything off. I managed to hit 3 different locations here. See, that is the weakness of the retractable blades. But another hit like that will kill it.
Try aiming next time. See what you get.
Right, crashes up.
Orders.
Let's go. We've got one more enemy over on this side. It's Nova. Oh geez, that's actually a lot of medium heavy lasers. I didn't actually know what it had. We can go from behind. There's only one enemy over there, which I don't think we'll be able to get an angle on us. And this fire starter hasn't really taken any damage. It's going to try and kick it. It's extra damage if we can just kick it in the legs. Also, I'm pretty sure if they have evasion and you kick them, make them unsteady and lose that, it will improve the accuracy of the follow-up shots.
Moving out. Engaging.
Ah, I missed the kick.
Failed to connect.
Good flaming. Oh, no heat. They've got something to stop the heat building up. That's not good. Let's kill this guy on the floor. We've got the really good accuracy and we can just go straight through that side torso.
I'm on him.
It's devastating when you can actually land those hits.
I need a new target.
Still got a good few of them to go, but we're getting through them. Alright, Nova's moving. He's going to try and get around the back. Not quite. No, it's not even going to fire. It's kind of weird. I mean, I'm not complaining too much because all those lasers is a lot of damage, but it didn't even just turn around on the spot and fire. I wonder if the AI has taken into account that I've got loads of flamers there or something. What's damage has it got? Sensors. Life support destroyed. That might be it. The pilot will suffer overheat damage. So it might calculate that if it fires all its weapons, it will hurt the pilot, so he's just not doing anything.
Receiving you.
Now he's still close enough to T to be hit with the sword. We can get behind him actually, where he's already got a bit of the armor missing.
10-4.
He's not dead. Took a head hit. So that's why I do have the retractable blades, because it's more attacks, which means more chance of hitting the head. Now, there should be very little left of that structure. The flamers will most likely be able to kill him.
Good to go.
Pretty good accuracy because it's a stationary target. Yeah, very little left.
Giving them everything I've got.
There's the arm. Yep, dead. Got 3 enemies left to go, so the Griffin has come up nice and close to the Hatchet Man, which is definitely a mistake. We can just go and hit it.
For a physical attack.
There we go, that's what I want to see from my melee hits. Clean kills. Got 80% accuracy here. Should be pretty good.
All weapons dip.
Just one leg hit. Such a disappointment this mission.
Yes, Commander.
Gonna shoot at the bear cub even though it's less accuracy because... Wait, really? Wasn't even aiming at it and managed to land both hits. I guess it's in line enough to count as getting in the way. I'm surprised it didn't just hit my Hatchet Man on the side. That's the sort of RNG I expect from the missed shots. What I was going to say is I was leaving the adder because my other mechs are all short range, so they can get to that one this turn, whereas the bear cub will take a few. Flames away. That's an arm gone. So the little fire starter should be able to machine gun. Oh, never mind, he's ejected. Probably a smart decision, really. Gonna overheat it because it is still a clan mech, so there will be good salvage. Just gotta wait for him to overheat. There he goes. Didn't even fire his weapons. So now we're just going to try and cook him out and use the tag to go for that really low chance of getting a headshot. Oh no, that's an ammo explosion. That's why overheating mechs with missile loadouts isn't as effective for getting salvage.
Mission successful.
Right, let's see what we got. Now, I'm not too interested in any of the sort of mech parts. I do normally like those sort of omni mechs, but I don't need any more mediums. So I'm more interested in the equipment. It's got ER medium lasers are good, LM20 I need that. What else we got? There's the heavy lasers, but they're not the improved ones. They have lower accuracy, but they do a lot of damage. Extra large engine, gonna take that because it's always worth money. All four 405's clan. I think I do need some of those. A light active probe would be nice. Doesn't take up much tonnage. Not as strong as some of the other sensors though. I would like the heatsink kit and double heatsinks, but I think I need this equipment more at the moment. Not too much damage, but I'm pretty sure it was all on the little fire starter and the Mad Cat. So they're going to be a little while to repair. There you go. So Mad Cat is going to miss out on the next mission. That's been a good look at some close range fighting. Got to show off all the melee mechs that I like using. I am going to make a few tweaks to them though, as I think I can optimize them a bit better. Next episode, I'm definitely going to have some larger mechs. I'm going to spend a bit of time trying to go for those 3 skull, a little bit higher missions, to find some more heavies, as I've been doing a lot of 2.5 skull missions and not made much progress there. I do want to do an episode and show off a bit of the artillery mechs, sort of long range fire support, thumpers and sniper artillery, so I am going to keep an eye out for those, and once I've got a nice lance ready, I'll do the next episode. That's all for this one, so thank you for watching, see you next time.